Sunday update, out doing video shoot. Today we have the Kia Telluride. Been driving it for the full week, really like it. Definitely was on my short list when I was buying a 3-row vehicle for the family. If you don't know, I own a Kia Carnival. We went with the minivan over an SUV just for the practicality of it being lower, being more fuel efficient, easier for the kids to get in and out of. There's a lot of advantages to getting a minivan over an SUV, and at the end of the day, we saved money and got something that's great for the family. That being said, really like the Telluride. I've enjoyed having it for the week. We've driven the family in it all over the place, so thumbs up there. Just taking a quick breather in the middle of filming, trying to cool down a bit. It's hot out here. It's not super hot. It is at least cloud covered, but it is humid, so sweating a lot. I thought today I might show you some of the gear that I use besides this GoPro for shooting this and some other car related scenes. My main camera is the Canon EOS R. I have a busted up and broken tripod that I still use. Mic system is the DJI Wireless mics. I used to use the Rode Wireless Go, but the range on that is a little bit less. And when it was time to upgrade from the original Go, instead of buying the second version, I just got the DJI. This is a 24mm Canon R lens, super good. Does have a little pop on and off ND filter there. Coming around to the back, let's open this up and I'll show you the rest of the gear that I have here. Everything fits in this backpack besides obviously the tripod case. Cloth for cleaning the vehicle. We have the 50mm cheap pancake like lens. This is the case for the DJI mics. You can see we already got the other set out. I have the 100 to 400 R lens. Not the best performing lens, but it gets some cool shots, especially when you need to be far away from the vehicle so you're not in the reflection. Then we got the big bad boy 24 to 105 L series lens for the R. This is the lens that I've used the most. I've had it for the longest time. It was the lens that I got the camera with, and it's just a great lens. Recently I've been using the prime lenses a lot more, trying to simplify what I carry and what I use, and sometimes those prime lenses help with that. The other one that I have is not in here. I'll show you that in just a second. Up top is just another like throw around pouch. I've got memory cards, extra mic stuff, all sorts of stuff there. Yeah, the lens is over here. So we've got a stupid little cheap window mount. And this is my favorite new lens, the 16mm Canon R. So the prime lenses are the cheaper versions of all the lenses. Focusing, not as good on them, but the apertures are really good, and you can get some cool shots. In that 16mm is so much better for interior shots than the 24 of the widest, the 24 that I have, or the 24 to 105, and that is an f4. Well, the 16mm I think is a f2 or 2.8, and this 24 is a 1.8, I believe. So lots of variety for lots of different shots. Try to make the videos a little bit more interesting, a little bit more dynamic, a little bit better looking as much as I can as a one-man band out here, talking about the vehicle, driving the vehicle, shooting the vehicle. It gets tough, but you do what you do. I used to carry a drone with me and get some drone shots every once in a while. Didn't like it, added to the workflow, made me be out here shooting a lot longer. I used to bring extra cameras and try to get extra angles and record many shots at the same time, and then sync audio in post. Made the editing a hassle. So there are compromises with the setup, but again, I want it to be easy to carry, easy to shoot with, easy to edit, but giving the best end result as I can, and I think I've done that. But yeah, I'm gonna continue shooting here and check back in a bit. Alright guys, so let's get into and wrapping up some of the exterior portions of this review, probably in perfect time. It's supposed to rain today a little bit later, but I'm already hearing thunder rolling, so that's always great. All right, back inside the car now for more interior shots, and as you can see, not only does the EOS R look super cute with that small 16mm lens, it also is a really wide field of view, so you can get a lot of good interior shots with this thing. When I was just using the 24-105, I definitely struggled to get good interior shots, wide enough to show like the full steering wheel, other parts of the interior really well. Of course, when you can zoom in and get some really clean shots, detailed shots of the interior, some of those are really cool too. But again, for workflow purposes, the 16mm just crushes it for interior of vehicles. And it's a faster aperture, so the lower light inside is less of a hassle. Have to crank the ISO less to get a good shot of something, which did cause me issues with the 24-105, cranking the ISO up to get certain spots, and it had a lot of noise in the end product, especially with YouTube compression. Another issue altogether. Speaking of YouTube, I do shoot everything in 1080p on their EOS R. It does do 4K, not really good 4K, plus you get the whole crop factor. So it's much easier just to shoot the 1080p and up-res it in post so that you can upload it to YouTube at a higher bit rate. It's a whole thing that some other YouTubers like Peter McKinnon and Matty Hapoya kind of figured out and were doing. If I had a newer camera or wanted to buy a newer camera, I would get a full 4K camera. That would be better. But again, for workflow, editing at 1080p is much easier than editing 4K. I do have a nice beefy computer, so that's not really as big of an issue anymore. But I'm just not bothered by having the 1080p up-res to 4K. I think the videos turn out really well, and in the end of the day, that's mostly what matters. All right, and like I said, rain was coming. Definitely got here. Mostly just sprinkling, lightning off in the distance, not a huge deal. Luckily, I finished all my outside stuff early, so we're just doing driving shots. Probably a little continuity issues with the rain while driving, but bright skies or darkening skies while we're shooting exterior stuff. Not a big deal. I'm not worried about it. It happens. But yeah, I'm done for the day. Headed back to the house now. Not sure what we have planned for the day. Probably not a whole lot. It is obviously 4th of July weekend. 4th of July is on Tuesday. We're going to my dad's house and a little bit of traveling for the 4th of July. But I won't have this vehicle. I'm not exactly sure what they're bringing me for tomorrow. I am swapping vehicles tomorrow, but I'm not sure what I'm getting. But in that case, I'll probably do a traveling kind of update for 4th of July for the road trip, whether we take the minivan or whatever vehicle I get for next week. With that, thumbs up the video, comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time.
Real to you? I believe in that power.
Or humans want to believe.
Yeah. Like, what if you're lonely? What if you're sad? What if you're really struggling in life and here's a world where you don't have to struggle anymore?
Humans want to believe so much that people think